cold and chilly today, then we warm up, then we cool down, then we get really cold. There's a lot to cover, so let's get right into it. Today, we're right around 50, 51 degrees for our highs. We may not quite get out of the 40s in some of those northwestern zones, but we're below that normal of 57 degrees. And then overnight tonight, we drop right into the low 30s. Light freeze for most of us. Some of us could see upper 20s just briefly in some of those low-lying, outlying areas, but not too big a freeze, not like what we're looking at down the barrel, and we'll get to that a little later. Right now I want to talk about wind gusts. Ignore the degree sign here, just didn't quite get that all the way from a temperature map to the wind map there, but it's not 31 degrees in Cleveland right now. 30 degree, get hung up on that. 30 mile per hour winds are the average for our max gusts today. That's dropping down from where they were last night. Winds were howling at 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts. Today, not quite as extreme, and that is why we've seen that wind advisory been allowed to be canceled early today instead of going out at 6 o'clock tonight. Now, I do want to show you the water vapor. We have a nice regime of dry air here over our area, so that's brought us those nice sunny skies, pushed that storm out of the way. But I'll tell you, that storm that came through, man, that is really tearing it up in the southeast right now. And from Florida to Georgia up into the Carolinas, we're looking at tornadoes, large hail damaging winds, just about everything going on there. We're on the back side of it. We're getting the cooler air from the north, and of course the high pressure is keeping everything clear for us. But our next system will be moving in from the Pacific Northwest over the next couple of days. High pressure will keep us nice. That'll give us plenty of time to prepare. And there's going to be two elements to this next system that we're watching. The first is going to be the possibility, I'll say, of severe weather. I'm not too concerned at this point because it does look like the vast majority of activity will be east of us. But for now, we are watching at least a marginal risk in our area for severe weather. All modes of severe weather will be possible. But again, I really do think that the majority of that is going to be east of us. But we still have a couple of days for that to change, so I will make sure to bring any updates on that to you. The other aspect of it is the cold air that will be brought in, because behind all of this, we will get in the cold air that's allowed into the country, this kind of polar plunge, as people are calling it. I call it an Arctic intrusion. I just like technical terms, but that's going to allow us to bring those winds, those very cold temperatures and those very cold winds into our area on the back side of that low. And it's going to get pretty cold, but that's nothing compared to where we will get when we get that second round. So let's just kind of put all of this together and get into that discussion. You see that winds stay breezy for really most of the week here, but they decline a little bit after today. Yeah, 50 degrees for that high today. It's pretty chilly, and then tonight 31. We warm up Wednesday and Thursday into the 60s. So those will be your 2 days to get the plants, the pipes, the pets, all of those things prepared for that push of cold air. And then let's talk about the 1-2 punch we've got coming in. Late Thursday, early Friday, we have that first cold front coming in. Could see some strong to possibly severe storms there. I will be keeping an eye on that. 30 degrees overnight Thursday night, and Friday we don't get out of the 40s. Friday night we're in the 20s. Then Saturday looks decent here. We get into the 50-degree range with those breezy south winds. Then we're back in the 20s Saturday night, and here's the big punch. Sunday into Monday, somewhere in this range, of course that's Martin Luther King Day, we will have that next front coming in. Models are still a little bit uncertain, a little bit of disagreement on exactly when this front will come in, and also whether we will see some moisture. I know you see this whole graphic here, and if we do get that moisture in there, I've only got a 10% chance right now. It's very kind of up in the air, but I do want you to be prepared in case it does actually happen that we could get some moisture coming in with this system. And because we will already be in a colder range, we could see a wintry mix. I don't think that we see solid snow or solid sleet. I think it'll be a mix of different things. I don't think we'll get a pure enough push of that wintry precipitation to make anything impressive. I don't think we look at travel impacts, but we're still several days away, so this can change. But the big thing is that Sunday we stay in the 40s, but Sunday night does look like we drop into the teens, and then Monday it looks like we won't get out of the 20s, at least for most of us. So yeah, cold couple of days, and looking ahead of that, the models are in pretty decent agreement at this point that we'll look at another day below freezing on Tuesday and then get above freezing on Wednesday. So there are some models that are trying to put us in the single digits. I'm not sure I agree with quite that big a change, but again, it's outside of that range, so they can change, but we are monitoring those. Tonight, I'll have an updated forecast with Tuesday included, and maybe, hopefully by then, we'll get a better idea what the models are thinking that far out. But again, these cold events, hard to predict. Even harder to predict is the wintry precipitation. So I'll be monitoring all of that for you, but before we even get to that, we warm up to give a little bit of a break before then. Storms possible Thursday night. Then we start cooling down Friday before the big push comes in Sunday or Monday.